Here's some essential tips on how you can get healthy soil in your garden. Hi there, I'm Hamish O'Brien, CEO and founder of PIG. We design, consult and teach for regenerative projects. We rejuvenate the earth and bring you abundance. We consult, teach and design for all sorts of projects like eco-communities and self-sufficient homesteads and much more. If you would like to learn more about us and our services, then please feel free to click our website link. I hope this content is enjoyable for you and I hope you get something out of it. Have a great day. Tip number 1 is get a design. It's quite an obvious one, but it really helps. You wouldn't build a house without an architect, so why would you build a garden without a design? So I would invest in getting a design, whether that's time and energy from yourself or paying somebody else to do that. And it will give you that blueprint to success. You'll be on that railroad track to success and you'll know where you're going. And also having that design in place, you should, if you are qualified or you know what you're talking about, you know what you're doing with the design, you should come up with a design that is very effective and very efficient, so it saves you time, money and energy in the long run. My tip number 2 is to add nitrogen fixers to your soil. So nitrogen fixers fix nitrogen from the air into the soil, which only a few amount of plants can actually do. Not all plants can fix nitrogen into the soil, so it makes them really important. And since nitrogen is abundant in the air, it's not as abundant in the soil because there's not many plants that can fix nitrogen into the soil. So have a look into that. That will really help your plants, and you won't have to buy nitrogen in a chemical format. It'll save you actually quite a lot of money in that respect, because you'll add nitrogen fixers into your garden. And yeah, it will save you money and it will create that resilient system. My next tip is composting. So you want to make sure you've got a compost in your garden. It's quite an obvious one again, but you can start a compost quite simply from food scraps. The thing is, there is a bit of a science to composting, which I'm not going to go into right now, but I'll give you just some tips for it. So you want to make sure your compost isn't really wet. If your compost is very wet, it's going to take a very long time to compost down, to decompose. That makes it an anaerobic compost when it's wet. Aerobic compost is when there's oxygen there. Think air, aerobic, and that's when it's dry. So you have a dry compost. Of course, you want to keep some moisture in there, not completely dry, but it's kind of getting that fine balance, because it's going to take a lot less time to decompose down than, say, anaerobic composting, which could take up to a year, even longer. So it's really important to just have a delve into composting and get some more tips on that. And maybe I'll put out a new video actually on composting as well to help you out. The next one is quite a simple one. It's mulching. So it's just cut and drop. So a lot of the time you see, you don't see cut and drop that often, mainly because, you know, in our society, we kind of like everything to be neat and tidy. So we actually scrape the top layer of the soil. So when you walk past gardens, or maybe you have a garden yourself, which you do this, you have your plants, and then below is just bare soil. It's actually quite bad for a number of reasons to do this. It's inefficient for a number of reasons. You want to keep the moisture in your soil and you want to keep it covered. And the reason for this is because soil erosion occurs when you don't do this, because the sun will scorch the soil and then wind and rain will erode the soil. They will take it off your land. And not only that, it's bad for the insects, the worms, etc. that live in the soil as well. They like the moist environments. And for other reasons as well, it is bad, which I'm not going to go into. Mulching, you can use a method called cut and drop. And this just means when a plant becomes brown, when it becomes, you know, the dead leaves, etc., you can cut it and you can just drop it on the floor, and that covers the soil, and it actually saves you doing more work because you don't actually need to cut it all, put it in a bag and put it in the compost. So it's actually quite efficient in that respect. So moving on from that, which brings us on to my final point, which is cover crops. So cover crops cover the soil, so they're the ground layer of the soil. And you can also mix this with, say, nitrogen fixer that covers the soil as well. Like cloves, for example, they're nitrogen fixers and they cover the soil. My last essential tip is diversity. So bringing diversity into your landscape is really going to help. And the reason for this is because each plant brings something new into the landscape, into the community. We actually call these guilds in permaculture. So a guild is just another name for a group of plants, for several different species of plants that are grouped together. But they're grouped together in a specific way because they all are friendly neighbours. They all have different things that they bring to the table and different things that they need that their fellow plant can bring them. So in that respect, they become a very resilient and strong community. So in this guild, there will be nitrogen fixers, there'll be plants that deter pests away, there'll be plants that are mineral accumulators, for example, that bring minerals up from the soil. There'll be plants that root into the soil quite vigorously, which actually break up the soil for the other plants to then move through with their roots. So again, building this community, this guild, is really going to make a strong, resilient ecosystem in your landscape. And this is the basis of, for example, a food forest. If you look at a food forest and how abundant a food forest is, how strong and resilient it is against pests, diseases, etc. And that is really why I love permaculture, is because that resilience, that consistency, and that abundance that it creates is so attractive for me. So yeah, that's all the essential tips I have for you today. I hope you enjoyed the video. I'm going to be doing a lot more of these videos just to give you some more insight to what permaculture actually is. I don't think a lot of people actually understand what permaculture is. And it's really something that is the future. Something that is going to benefit the whole future of the human race and the planet. And yeah, I'll do some more videos on different things to do with permaculture to give you an idea. So thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you got some sort of benefit from this. I will be doing more videos like this, so watch out for them. And just to let you know that PIG is a permaculture designing business. So we design permaculture landscapes all around the world. We have a team of people that are super good at what they do. We have lots of reviews. We have a big portfolio as well, so check out our website. And if you would like a design or consultation, or maybe you want teaching, etc., just give us a message and we can help you.